Hi Susie Q, NICU subscribers and viewers. Today we're going to look at a video on how to make a mini IV pump. What you want to do first is find some images to print, or you can use a nursing education supply magazine if you happen to have one of those lying around. Print and cut out a picture of IV pump. Find a box that you want to use. I'm using a larger upcycled box here, and I'm making marks just to cut it down to size. Then you cut out your box. We are going to wrap it in white construction paper just to get rid of the writing on there. As I'm watching this video right now and talking, I'm realizing another idea of a box that would be a good size, I think, would be like a spaghetti box. Those long and thin cardboard boxes that spaghetti comes in, that would work perfectly for this. So that's another idea. Anyway, you cut your boxes and then you wrap them. I also looked at silver scrapbook paper as an idea to use for this, and I did think that the white looked better. Silver could work too, because there is a lot of medical equipment that's kind of gray colored or silver colored. It's up to you. Next, I will take out my trusty hot glue gun to get the paper on here. I love that hot glue gun. You'll know that because there are little drippings of hot glue on my craft board, on my dining room table. There's a little bit on my couch, actually a few scars on my legs, because I am a clumsy crafter. So be very careful when you're using a hot glue gun. I did leave the bottom of these boxes open because I'm going to be threading the pole through there, and I'll also thread IV tubing, and that is what that first hole is for. And so for the pole, I'm going to use a doll stand, and there's the hook that hooks the doll on, but we don't need the hook, you just need the stand. And I spray painted them silver, and also little craft rods or little wooden sticks, little wooden rods, and we're going to use those for the pole. So I hot glue the doll stand to the back of the box, and then I'll take one of those long thin rods and I'm going to push it through the very top. I'll take one of the smaller rods and cut it in half, and then glue that piece on the very top of the rod, and that's what we'll use to hang our fluids on. And there's the finished product. Next, what I'm going to do is show you how to make an IV pump, and instead of using a pole, use a handle so you can attach it to a piece of equipment like a NICU radiant warmer. You can actually attach it to another IV pole, so you can have two IV pumps on one pole. So it just creates options and it saves space. And we have a lot of space we want to save for our little babies in the NICU. I'm showing you just a second option, a different way that you can make a pole. I used a drinking straw, I covered it in duct tape, I shoved a pipe cleaner up in there, and that just gives it a little more stability so it doesn't bend. Now what I'm doing is cutting the little fuzzies off a pipe cleaner that I cut into quarters. I'm going to wrap that in duct tape as well. We're going to curl it. We're going to hot glue it together. And then we're going to push that down in the inside of the straw so that that part is still open. And then that is what we'll use to hang our IV fluids. Now let's look at how to make the actual bag of IV fluids. I used pipettes, or they're also, called droppers. I found these at the Dollar Tree, and then of course I used all those up, and I went back for more and couldn't find any, so I just ordered more on Amazon. So I just cut off the very top part, filled it with water, used a part of a paper clip on the top, glued it in place, and that is it. Then we are going to cut another little hole using the first example. I used a razor. Here I'm using a tiny little screwdriver. And then I just take the clear elastic cord. So that's our IV tubing. You can never use too much IV tubing because you don't know how long you're going to have to string that cord on your Barbie sets. So make it gratuitous. Anyway, you thread it through there, and then you're just going to hot glue it to the base of your bag. I did try to make a tiny hole and like thread it through and glue it, but it takes a whole lot of hot glue for it to not leak. So I decided to not do that this time. And there we have our finished product. We have our beautiful Ronnie, the NICU charge nurse, showing off our craft in the NICU. And here are just some examples from different scenes in my Barbie videos of our IV pump in motion, using it as a background prop. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment if you have an idea about a different type of medical equipment you would like to see made in miniature. Thanks for watching, and bye.